Well, hello there, everyone. It is I, Ginger of the Universal Dance and Music Arts Abu Dhabi, here again to share some more tips and tricks that will help you improve your dancing on that dance floor, particularly for the Latin dancers. And today, it's the topic for the absolute beginners. What do we need to do to begin our Latin dancing? So you have decided to take a chance on yourself and actually attend some salsa classes, some bachata classes, some kizomba classes. These are certain steps that you can take to ensure that you're fully engaged and ready for your activity. Okay, so here we run through them one by one. What is the posture, or what is the gait you should have when it comes to Latin dancing? And we shall start with the first aspect, and that is your chest. So number one, I'm going to advise you to lift your chest. Now, I'm going to take a side view here and look at my chest. I'm going to lift my chest. I am not necessarily chesting out. That's not what I'm doing. I am lifting the chest and thereby engaging my rib cage at the same time. And by doing so, I'm also making sure that my chin is back and not forward. So we don't want this kind of outline. We want to lift our chest and engage our spine, engage our rib cage, chest lifted, and we are ready. And we are signaling to our partners that we're ready to commence. So lift your chest, engage your rib cage. That is a great way to start. Secondly, we're talking about our shoulders. So many of us come dancing, and this can be the way in which we stand, or our outlook while dancing can be related to the way in which we live. For instance, if you are the IT specialist and you are always bending over the computer without knowing it, your shoulders are going to be slumped and rounded forward. So this second advice is simply this: keep your shoulders down. Now, if you follow my first advice, which is lift your rib cage next to the shoulders, try as much as possible to make sure your shoulders are not rounded forward, but that they are back and down. Back. So you take them back and down. And then you have your chest lifted and your shoulders back and dropped down. What we don't want to have in Latin dances are shoulders that are hiking up towards the ears. This is not the way we should begin our Latin dancing. So here we go. We have the chest up. We have the shoulders down. We are signaling we are ready for our dancing. This is the third, and this is very, very important. And that is something, engaging this aspect of our body will ensure that we understand better the push-pull that arises in Latin dancing. And I will explain further. What does this say? This says position or engage your arms. So what does that mean? So the rule I always tell my students is simply this. Now, when the pressure comes from your partner towards you, it is important that you don't allow that pressure. Say we are starting a basic one in salsa, for instance, okay? And I'm going to face you right here, and I'm taking my right foot back, 1. Okay, and that's going to be reflected here, right foot back, 1. Say you're a follow. Now, if I take my right foot back, the pressure comes, say, into my left hand, and I'm taking my right foot back. What we don't want to have, this is the X here, we don't want to have the pressure going into the arm before the body responds. This is not what we want to have. That means that we are not connected. That means there is miscommunication between us. So again, we don't want to take our step back but before then have the hand out. So again, look at this. Pressure comes into the palm, into the center of the hand, and we do this 1, and then before the body responds like that. That's not what we want to have. So the rule is keep your arms on the same line as your shirt. So if you look at your shirt, you know the side stitching you usually have. Make sure your elbows, your arms it doesn't pass the side stitching of your top or your shirt. So we don't want that. If the pressure comes in, we want to receive the pressure in our bodies through our center. And when the pressure comes in from the front, we want to step back. Again, pressure comes from the front, step back. Not this. Pressure comes in, 1, 2. That is a no. Again, pressure comes in, we engage, keep our elbows on the same line as our sides. Pressure comes in, and immediately you have a reaction from the body itself and not the arms. Great job. So I hope these points have helped you thus far. So let us proceed. So not just is it important that we engage our arms, it's also necessary that we position them properly. Now, all the while we have our chest lifted, we have our shoulders down, we understand the fact that when pressure is given, we should not swing our arms behind, but rather keep them in line with our sides. It is important that you understand that I am not saying you glue your arms to your side. So, number 4, position your arms correctly. Do not glue your arms to your sides. Keep them open and keep them light. So you want the elbow away from your body to some degree. You are not doing this. We're not doing the chicken arms. We don't have our elbows pointing outwards. Why? Because this could constitute a danger on the dance floor. We don't want this. So it is halfway, somewhere between here and here, you have here. And that is how you position your arms. Okay? So on both sides, if you want to have an analogy, you have like a dotted line or a line going from your elbow down to the floor in a diagonal format and not in a straight line or in a horizontal format. Okay, we don't have that. So both arms are like that. Okay, can you see the distance from my body itself? Position your arms correctly. This is important. So the next aspect we're going to talk about, the feet. Keep your feet together. Make sure you're keeping your feet together once the dance is initiated, and then you begin from a neutral format. Keeping your feet that way while your torso is this way or something like that, I find happens with my students. Try to make sure that you look down and that your feet are engaged and that you're feeling that energy going into your belly button, your center, through your chest, all the way to your head. So let's recap. So we have the chest lifted, ribcage engaged. We have the shoulders down. We have the arms, understanding that the arms do not rock back and forth, but rather is fused to our sides. And we understand that we have our arms positioned correctly, some degree away from our bodies, never horizontal, but more in that format. Feet are together, feet are engaged. What is the last point I'm going to give you, number 6? And this is it. Keep your dance up. Keep your dance waist level. What does that mean? That means that whenever we start to dance, we tend to droop. So we're doing our Latin basic steps like so. 1, 2, 3. Can you see my arms dangling by the sides? Okay. So this gives the impression of what? Unwillingness, boredom. The energy is going in and is released through our fingers to the floor. That's not what we want. We don't want a drooped, inelegant situation happening. So what we always say is engage the arms upwards. We don't know what to do with our arms. We don't know how to move them, how to style them. It doesn't matter. Keep those arms up so that when you're dancing, your dance looks alive, vivacious, you look inviting, and everything is just in its right place at the right time. Thank you all so much. So make sure you go through these steps again, and I'm sure that this will signal to your partner and to whomever you're dancing with that you are ready for your dance. Thank you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more information, for more videos, and for more tips on Latin dancing. Very soon, I'm going to release my Afro beats. So watch out for that, dear ladies and gents. And have a good time. I'll see you next time. I remain your Ginger. Till next time.